time for another update on the truck. I do have some information on it and kind of the verdict of the situation. So I wanted to film this video quickly. I apologize for basically if this video seems rushed. It pretty much, I'm filming this on Sunday and it's been pretty much a craptastic day to say the least. Nothing has really gone my way today, but this video is going to be basically an update on the truck, its current situation, and what the plan going forward is. So let's talk about the big updates that a lot of you guys are simply clicking on this video just to find out. And we did receive confirmation. I believe my parents received it yesterday, but I'm just not finding out today that the transmission was indeed blown. It was not a pump or solenoid. The transmission was dead. So it is going to need a full rebuild, which is going to cost about $2,500. So that's unfortunate because it killed my big secret project, which I guess since it isn't happening now, I can reveal, which is going to be a full-on supercharger kit for the Sport Trac. We were going to go Eaton M112 with a Marana Terminator swap kit. It'll make about it was going to make about 7 pounds of boost using the Terminator's throttle body and the Terminator's plenum. And it was good for about 315 to 320 horsepower, which on a 4.0 is rather impressive. 100 plus horsepower gain just off adding a Eaton M112 to it and throwing 7 pounds at it. Eventually, I was planning on building the motor up and switching to a Whipple 2.3, which may still happen. That may be my go-to blower to start with, because the 2.3 comes with a pulley that's equipped for 13 pounds. And if I can get the motor reinforced properly and ready to go, I can use that Wheelwell 2.3. If the money's right down the road, that'll be what I go with. But as for right now, the truck is going to continue to be an A. Unfortunately, I was looking forward to it. I got my hopes up pretty high for it. But it was all relying on the transmission not being completely blown and it just being something small like a solenoid or a pump. And It works good in both ways, or it works in both ways, because while I can't do the supercharger setup on the truck, I do get to have the peace of mind knowing my transmission is brand new and will be able to hold for hopefully 120 to 200,000 more miles on it. I doubt it. It's a 5R55E. They blow easily, but I'm like really hoping that it survives. So what's the plan going forward then? So pretty much right now, we'll be going through a maintenance project on the truck, which is going to be pretty much replacing all the damaged seals and gaskets and stuff it may need, minus the valve covers, because that is going to be a mechanic job. We don't have the skills here to do it. I do have the gaskets themselves sitting in the house. I just don't have the mechanical know-how to disassemble everything myself and do it. It will be done eventually, just not at this time. Probably when the engine gets done, because again, it'll already be out of the truck at that point. It'll be easy to replace then. But as for right now, primarily the oil pan gasket, which recently began to build saturation. It's not leaking necessarily, it's not dripping out of the pan. It is just building saturation, as well as the power steering rack, which has been leaking for months, and I've been keeping up on it and putting fluid in it. But we're finally going to go and replace it. I found one from A1 Cardone on Car ID for $90. That's $100. It's a reman product, which I originally wasn't going to go reman. I really was wanting brand new parts, but as like for what everything else is going to get done to the truck, I need to stay a little bit more cost effective. So after that's done, we'll be throwing in a brand new, not a brand new, but redoing my third brake light and repairing it. It is the cause for all the water damage in my headliner that has been, obviously caused by water. A lot of people thought it was the roof rack delete, but it is not. I can confirm that. It is definitely the third brake light. So the third brake light is going to get resealed and redone with LEDs all the way around, just like the rest of the truck. And will also be, hopefully, I'm going to talk to Michael on it and see how much he would charge me to do it, to tint it. And it also means, to match everything up, the CG taillights the truck's had for ages, they're just not cutting it for me anymore. They look fine, but it still gives off that ricerish Altezza taillight look, and I want a cleaner, cooler look. And originally I was going to do this to begin with, But now that I know that I am within legal limits now to tint my taillights, we're going to do that as well. Because I was told that as long as you have LED bulbs that can shine as if it's a normal brake light, you're clear. It's same deal with HIDs on your headlights. You have to have black housings to do it. So I could legally run HIDs on my truck if I wanted to. And speaking of lighting, I also would like, I don't know if this is going to happen, to switch to a projector up front with a new set of headlights, because mine are toast. As well as switching to switchbacks on the turn signals. And I'm trying to find the clear corner lights. I do not like the orange. I want clear, but I can't find them anywhere. As well as we will be doing paint. Of course, that's the big project that is going to happen after that. My plan is to also drop it some more. People still seem to think it's stock ride height, which is surprising because if you've ever seen a Sport Trac in stock ride height, you'll know mine is far from stock ride height. So we plan on dropping it some more. Well, I plan on dropping it some more. We have to figure out the specifics on how much we can drop it more, what kind of like where we're gonna max out at. I'm thinking 5 in the back, 4.5 up front will be plenty. It will be a nice low slung sitting truck, and it will be noticeable. While it won't be low rider status, so my bump will be scraping on the ground just from sitting there. It will be low enough to still clear drag radials if I wanted to run drag radials on the truck, which I plan on doing if I take it to the track. Especially if I get the Wheelwell 2.3 on. As well as still look absolutely fantastic. So there's that, and we might be doing a project with a hood. I mainly want to do this to ensure clearance of the Wheelwell 2.3 or the Eden M112, whatever route I go with. We will have this with this setup. We're gonna have to custom mod the hood because everyone I've talked to about the Amera hood setup, which is running pretty common now in sport tracks, a lot of people who want an aftermarket hood, that's where they're going with. Pretty much everyone in my family and close friend group has said it's ugly. And besides Josh, who I believe he had ordered it for his truck when he had it. So that's kind of that right now. So it's gonna get paint, and pretty much the design where we're gonna be going with, we're not doing any sort of extravagant stripes or anything on the truck. It's gonna be very basic. Pretty much we're gonna be respraying it the same color, the ultra blue metallic. And we'll be doing all the gray, everything that is not blue already will be blue on the truck when it's done, minus the grill, obviously. So the plastic cladding, I'm looking at my monitor right now, my truck's in the background. The plastic cladding will be blue. The door handles will be blue. And speaking of, you guys know, the tow truck driver snapped it off when he was putting it on the truck, and I can now confirm it was the tow truck driver because it doesn't have any scrapes on it that'd be evident from it hitting concrete. So I'm calling bull crap that it hit the ground because there's not a single mark on it, minus the obvious snapped plastic on the back. From there, we're probably going to go full bolt-on setup for naturally aspirated for now until I can get that supercharger set up. And I'll probably, pretty much, the reason I'm doing this is I want to have some sort of cool title to tell people about. I don't want to be just, oh, it's a sport track, it's got a tune and it's lowered. Okay. I like to be able to be like, yeah, it's full bolt-ons, stuff like that. You know, so pretty much all I need to be full bolt-ons right now is a set of headers. And if you consider an intake manifold a bolt-on, it pretty much by definition is, but some people don't consider it. So I'm going to leave the intake manifold out because obviously I'm not going to go through the time of porting my manifold if we're going to supercharge the truck in the future anyway. So that's that right now. The truck is currently getting a new transmission as we speak. It'll hopefully be back in the next 2 to 3 weeks maybe. I don't know how long it's going to take. We're still working towards getting the money together to do it. They gladly, thankfully, took it in to at least diagnose it before we were ready to start putting money into it and getting it done. So we've already got the go-ahead. I originally was going to put an XP1 built 5R in it, but my dad beat me to the punch and told him to go ahead and just rebuild it because he's the one who's really working behind the scenes, making sure that everything goes smoothly because I've never put a car in the shop before, and he wants to make sure everything goes okay for me. So that's that. Like I said, paint. We'll be doing a ton of video series on it, getting prepped when it comes back. I'm probably going to have to buy brand new 4.0 badges for it unless they can just re-stick mine on. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a poll in the top right hand corner. Does anyone want to see the return of the ST badges? Because I've had, for example, Hayden, for example, loved the ST badges. He was one of like 5 people I knew that liked the ST badges. And I liked them. I thought they were cool. But I got a lot of hate for it not being a Focus ST or Fiesta ST and it having the ST badge on it. And I'd be willing to order new ones and bring them in and, you know, stick them on and all that if you guys want to see it. And I like the 4.0 fender badges because, again, I'm a Mustang fanboy and the fender badges are my thing. But if you guys would rather see the STs, then I will gladly throw them back on. Because I liked them too. I thought they were cool. And the only reason I got rid of them was because I was sick and tired of going to car meets when, it's not even a real ST. When ST stands for Sport Trac anyway. So, that's pretty much that. The front plate will probably be retired at this point. Everyone tells me it looks trashy to have that front plate on the front of it. It's not the plate itself, but it's the brackets and the plates being on there and obstructing the bumper and all that. I've had a lot of people complain about it, so it might be coming off when it gets out of paint. But as far as that goes, that's pretty much the whole rundown on the truck right now. It's getting a new transmission as we speak. It's getting taken care of by Accurate Transmissions, and we'll hopefully see it back here soon. With Caffeine and Octane this weekend, I cannot give you guys a guarantee we'll be there. Again, there's a lot of stuff we're working on right now behind the scenes to make sure it comes back soon. But as for right now, there is very little chance it will be a Caffeine and Octane on Sunday. We will probably be out in the Honda again. And the Charger, of course, Michael's car, and having a lot of fun with that. So that's kind of the spiel of what's going on right now. A lot of you guys have already asked me about the truck, and, well, here's your verdict. So with all that said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up here. I'm about to go eat dinner anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys in the next video.